So it's going to get colder. Never mind. Lots of women look back to their days in the Girl Guides with nostalgia. The uniform, the camping and, of course, the famous oath when you promise to do your best to love God, serve the Queen and keep the guide law.
But times change, and now Girl Guiding UK is thinking about taking both the Queen and God out of its promise, even though the Queen is one of its most famous former members. Well, the historian Kate Williams joins us from our London studio to put this in a bit of context. Kate, morning to you.
Good morning, Adam.
I mean, what's the point? Why bother? Is it worth all the effort?
To change the promise? Well, this is, I think the Girl Guides are saying, well, we want to move forwards and perhaps suggest that some people want a different type of promise. The Scouts, they've made the change. They said quite recently that people don't have to swear allegiance to God in case they have atheist members, although they have kept the Queen. And I think the Guides are having this consultation and they're saying, you know, do we still want people to be swearing allegiance to the Queen and swearing allegiance to a God?
OK, so it's a pretty historic institution, Girl Guiding. I just wonder whether sort of fiddling with it diminishes it.
Well, of course, they've been going for 102 years. They've had some vital, important guides. The Queen herself, as you say, she was a keen guide. There was the Buckingham Palace First Pax set up in 1937 for her and Princess Margaret. Princess Anne was a guide. You know, a lot of women, as you say, they've been very keen guides. But I think this is the way that the guiding movement is saying, you know, we want to move forward, we want to move on. They have a large waiting list of people wanting to join. But perhaps their principle now is that a lot of people increasingly see themselves as atheists, don't want to include God in the promise. And the question here for me, which as a royal historian, is are they going to keep the Queen? The Scouts have done. After this public consultation, is the Queen going to be kept in the promise, or is it going to be something wider about serving my country or serving my community, some of their options they've been suggesting?
Would you imagine, though, Kate, that there would be a difference here between God, and I can appreciate a number of people might bridle at that, and the Queen, where a number of people would similarly say, no, that's a fundamental tenet and you can't really object?
Well, it's very interesting because the Queen's popularity is the highest it's ever been this year, thanks to the Diamond Jubilee, her longevity. It's the highest it's been since 1952. So it's very interesting to me that an organisation that is seen as perhaps as traditional as the Guides are thinking of dropping the reference to the Queen. That's something they actually are considering. And if they do, I wonder what it will be for various other organisations, because in quite a lot, often in this country, we kind of use the word the Queen as shorthand for serving the United Kingdom, serving the good of the United Kingdom, and that's often been the case throughout history. If that's going to change, I think that's quite an interesting and new innovation. OK. Kate, many thanks. Kate Williams there.
Thank you. Girl Guiding UK has issued a statement about the review of its promise, and it has said that Girl Guiding UK is committed to